Listen, you're not crazy, you're not falling apart, and you're definitely not just stressed. But something is off, and you know it. You snap at someone you love and immediately think, where did that come from? You cry in your car for no reason. You feel completely fine 1 hour and completely overwhelmed the next. And the scariest part isn't even the feelings themselves, it's that you don't feel like you. You used to handle things. You used to be the steady one. And now you're standing in your own life wondering why everything feels like it's just so much, right? Well, here's what I want you to know. This is not a personality change. It's not anxiety taking over either. And this is not about you becoming someone that you don't recognize. This is the emotional side of menopause. And for many women, this is the most disruptive part because it doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how you live. I'm Tafiq Akhir, Mr. Menopause here, your go-to source for reliable menopause and healthy aging support. Today I'm talking about menopause and emotional well-being. Welcome to the Menopause Made Simple show. Emotional distress during menopause shows up in different ways. At home, this is where it hits first. Your patience feels shorter. You react faster than you want to. Things that normally wouldn't bother you suddenly do. And it's not just that moment. It's actually what comes after because you start to think about how you responded and you start questioning yourself. Why did I react like that? Why couldn't I just calm down? And that internal conversation can feel exhausting. And then socially, it tends to show up a little differently, right? You may find yourself pulling back, not because you don't care, but because you don't have the same emotional capacity. What used to feel easy now feels like effort. So you cancel plans, you stay home more, you disengage. And over time, that can start to feel isolating. And then at work, the impact is more internal. You still show up, but everything feels heavier, more overwhelming, more mentally and emotionally demanding, and more draining at the end of the day. But what I want you to know and understand clearly is that this is not about you losing control. It's about the hormonal transition that's affecting how your body regulates emotion. See, hormones influence mood, stress response, and emotional regulation. So when those levels shift, your responses can feel more intense, more immediate, and harder to manage in the moment. And that doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means that something is changing. And when that change isn't understood, it gets more internalized. You start thinking it's you, your personality, your patience, your ability to cope. And this is exactly where most women get stuck. Not because you don't care, but because you don't know the root of what you're actually dealing with. One day it feels like stress, another day it feels like anxiety, and another day it just feels like you're overwhelmed for no reason. And without clarity, everything starts to feel personal. And that's why I structured the book I wrote on decoding the symptoms of menopause the way that I did, so that you can identify what you're actually experiencing in real time. No guessing, no labeling it incorrectly, and not trying to fix the wrong thing. And you can go directly to the emotional symptoms that you're feeling most. You get to understand what they are, understand why they're happening, and more importantly, understand what to do next. Because once you have the right context, your responses change. You no longer react to the feeling, you respond to what's actually happening underneath it. And when emotional symptoms show up, there are a few simple ways to support yourself in the moment. By giving yourself a pause before responding, even a few seconds, that can shift the outcome. Paying attention to patterns as well. When are you more reactive? When are you more overwhelmed? Those patterns do matter. And supporting your emotional state the same way you would your physical health. Get rest, give yourself space, and set boundaries when needed. Most importantly, know that this is not a weakness. You are responding to what your body is experiencing. And if these emotional changes start to feel intense, persistent, or difficult to manage on your own, of course, it's always important to check in with your healthcare provider. But you are not losing yourself. You're in transition. and the woman that you've always been is still there. And if today's episode helped that start to make sense, that's exactly why I do this work. And if you want to go deeper, the first 2 chapters of my book are yours completely free so that you can keep building that understanding in your own time at your own pace. The link is in the show notes.